All right, so now we're going to move on to a new segment we're doing. We're going to be talking about some of the different teams that are coming up in the NFL offseason, looking with some quarterback controversies, maybe some quarterback problems. We're just going to run through and we're going to look at these teams and then kind of pick who we think is going to be the next quarterback for that team starting in this season, 2020.
All right, so let's go ahead and start off with everybody's favorite Chicago Bears. Casey, who do you think is going to be quarterbacking them next year?
I've got a very interesting pick for the Chicago Bears. It's been thrown around a little bit here and there. I'm going to go with Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton gets traded out of Carolina, and he's the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears next season.
You know, I played the Bears one a little bit safe. I think they're going to give Mitch Trubisky another shot to see if he can improve that arm, kind of get better, get more accurate. So I think they're going to stick with Mitch Trubisky next year.
Mitch Trubisky and getting better just does not really go together that well.
Once he learns to throw to his left, he could be dangerous.
We'll see.
All right, what about the Miami Dolphins?
This one's an interesting one because earlier today there was a report that came out that the Dolphins aren't maybe as high on Tua as we all thought. So I kind of had to change around my pick a little bit. One guy that I really think is going to play well or do well in the combine is Justin Herbert, and I think Miami goes with him at 5.
See, I'm thinking that Miami does in fact stick with Tua at 5. I think that Tua's upside is just too high, but I don't think Tua's going to play next year because of that injury, so I think they're going to stick with Ryan Fitzmagic just one more year, maybe beat the Patriots again, who knows, but I think that Tua's their quarterback of the future, but for now it's Fitzmagic next year.
You never really know what happens when you have Ryan Fitzpatrick on your team.
You never do.
Next team, we're going to take a look at the Colts. Who do you think is going to be the starting quarterback of the Colts in 2020?
This one's tough because I think it'll start with Jacoby Brissett, but I also think they're going to end up drafting Jordan Love out of Utah State, and I could easily see them making a shift if Jordan Love can get the tangibles down, get his footwork improved, get a little more accurate with the ball. I think that they could end up making a switch just because he has the arm. He has a better deep ball than Jacoby Brissett does, and you need to make some big plays. So I think they could end up going to Jordan Love at the end of the year.
This is an interesting pick. Mine's also a rookie quarterback named earlier. I think Tua falls because of his hip injury. And obviously with Jacoby Brissett there in Indianapolis, you kind of have a serviceable starter for 1 year. So they don't need to necessarily play Tua right away. And I think he would really benefit from Frank Reich's offense.
All right, so next we have the Los Angeles Chargers, obviously moving on from Phillip Rivers. They do have Tyrod Taylor on the roster, but of course they can draft someone, bring in a free agent. Who you got on the Chargers next year?
I don't think you're going to like this pick at all, but my pick for the Los Angeles Chargers now is Tom Brady will be the quarterback there.
He's not going to LA, but tell me why.
He's the quarterback there because he's going to be moving out there with his supermodel wife, and they're going to start their new life out there like LeBron did. And he's going to go out there and lead the Los Angeles Chargers for 2 seasons and then hang it up.
You know, I almost thought about going with the safer approach in Tyrod Taylor, but I think the Chargers are going to bring in another guy, also starting with a T, not Tommy Brady, though. They're going to bring in Teddy Bridgewater from the New Orleans Saints. I think he has all the makings of obviously a starting NFL quarterback. He played really well this past season, went undefeated with the Saints in his starts. Obviously was great with the Vikings, but I think that he's a guy that could possibly come in and take over with some of these weapons. You know, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, different guys like that on the Chargers. So I think it's going to be a guy like Teddy Bridgewater.
That's a really good pick, too, because it would be the exact opposite of the Breeze move from San Diego to New Orleans, and then Teddy would go New Orleans to L.A. If it all works out the same, that's definitely a big move.
Sometimes it just writes itself. All right, so since you do think Tom Brady is leaving the Patriots, who's going to be quarterback in the next year, Casey?
I'm going to go with someone with another last name that starts with a T, Ryan Tannehill. Division rival of the Patriots for a very long time. Bill Belichick, he has this reclamation thing where he just picks up guys from around the league and they start playing better when he gets there. He saw a little bit of a hint with it in the AFC wildcard game against the Titans. So I could totally see Ryan Tannehill fit into that system. He's got a lot more mobility than Tom Brady, so they may be able to do some more creative stuff with that. But he has all the workings of a New England Patriots quarterback, I think.
Tom Brady's not leaving.
We'll see.
That's all I have to say on the subject. All right, got new head coach Matt Rule with the Carolina Panthers. Who's he looking to for the future?
My pick for the Carolina Panthers, it was actually the same pick that you made earlier. It is Jordan Love. That was my pick for the Carolina Panthers. He has all the workings, I think, of a Baylor quarterback, like what Matt Rule would have worked with at Baylor. I don't know. He has all the intangibles to be that next really great quarterback in the NFL. Didn't have that good of a year last season at Utah State, but 2 years ago, when he had weapons, he was dealing. The guy was dealing. He's kind of similar to Josh Allen with his athleticism and other things, and I think that's really going to draw the eye of the Panthers.
You know, I like how you brought up that Jordan Love is essentially a Baylor quarterback at heart. I went with an actual Baylor quarterback, Robert Griffin III. No, I'm just kidding. I think they're gonna stick with Cam Newton. When Cam's healthy, he can still be an MVP caliber player. I think Matt Rule is gonna want to try to test it out with him and Christian McCaffrey again, because obviously Ron Rivera got him to the Super Bowl but could never quite get over that hump. I think Matt Rule is a great coach, and I think that he's gonna want to trial at least 1 year of Cam Newton with Christian McCaffrey in that backfield.
That'd be interesting. It'd be a good transition for a head coach too if he was healthy. I just think with all the trade talks, he doesn't stay. I don't know. You never know, though.
All right, moving on. The new founded Las Vegas Raiders. They obviously have Derek Carr. Tom Brady, you already said, is not going there because you think he's going to be a Charger. So who's going to be in Oakland next year?
I think it's going to be Derek Carr, and I think he's going to stay just mainly because of the reason that they kind of shot themselves in the foot with not tanking last year. Coming within 1 or 2 games of a wild card. It's going to put him in the middle of the pack, so all of the premier QB talent, maybe a Tua will be there, probably not, because I bet you he'll get picked before that. You never know. He might be there. Some guys like that might be there. Maybe a Jordan Love would be there. But I just think they ride it out with Derek Carr in this first year in Vegas and then see what they can do in free agency or the draft the next season.
You know, I think it's going to be Carr as well. He's obviously not... He's not a franchise guy. He's not going to lead you to the promised land, I don't think. I do think he's a very good quarterback for where they're at right now. I think maybe this next season, maybe they'll tank and do it well for Trevor Lawrence. I think they could definitely be looking towards the future, maybe even draft a guy in the later rounds. But for right now, I think Derek Carr is serviceable for what they need. All right, so the last team we're going to talk about, one of the best Cinderella stories of the year, obviously led by Ryan Tannehill, Mike Vrabel, the Tennessee Titans. Who do you have there next year?
Well, since I had Ryan Tannehill leaving and your new quarterback of the New England Patriots, Ryan Tannehill.
Can't wait to get his jersey.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot seller in New England, that's for sure.
All right, who's on the Titans?
I am going to go with Phillip Rivers as the Tennessee Titans quarterback. I had him penciled in with the Bucs, but obviously they've committed recently for at least another year to Jameis Winston.
After that eye surgery, it really sold him on Jameis.
Yeah, he's going 60-60 this year. 60 TDs, 60 picks. So who wouldn't want that? So I'm going to go with Phillip Rivers. He needs a home. He's probably going to get at least one more chance to start in his career. I think that a team with a pretty solidly built playoff-level defense is going to at least get the best out of Phillip Rivers. You never know. He could revitalize his career, and it could be a happy story for both of these teams.
Maybe almost a Peyton Manning to Denver.
Yeah,
he just gets carried by the defense. I think they're going to try to get Ryan Tannehill a fat extension in Tennessee. Obviously, he worked wonders for them. I mean, whoever is their quarterback, they're still going to rely heavily on the run game and Derrick Henry because he's just an absolute monster back there. But I think Ryan Tannehill fits really well in their offense. I think it seems like Ryan Tannehill was really happy there last year under Mike Vrabel, and I think he resigns. So my picks haven't been quite as exotic as yours, but I'm sticking with some of the hometown guys already.
No, my picks are way out there. I bet you probably none of them even happen, honestly. But I just thought it would be cool to kind of see what the guys would look like if they shuffled around. Started thinking about some of the other options, like maybe like a Phillip Rivers landing with one of those teams, because you never know. He's going to get one more starting chance. So we'll see if any of this stuff actually happens, though.
Yeah, should be exciting to see. Obviously, we're in for kind of a crazy one with this free agent class and this quarterback class.